I'm going to be reading from Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and it's all small stuff by Richard Carlson. And this is a chapter entitled Understanding the Statement, Wherever You Go, There You Are. This is the title of a super book by John Kabat-Zinn. As the title suggests, wherever you go, you take yourself with you. The significance of this statement is that it can teach you to stop constantly wishing you were somewhere else. We tend to believe that if we were somewhere else, on vacation, with another partner, in a different career, a different home, a different circumstance, somehow we would be happier and more content. We wouldn't. The truth is, if you have destructive mental habits, if you get annoyed and bothered easily, if you feel angry and frustrated a great deal of the time, or if you're constantly wishing things were different, these identical tendencies will follow you wherever you go. And the reverse is also true. If you are a generally happy person who rarely gets annoyed and bothered, then you can move from place to place, from person to person with very little negative impact. Someone once asked me, what are the people like in California? I asked him, what are the people like in your home state? He replied, selfish and greedy. I told him that he would probably find the people in California to be selfish and greedy. Something wonderful begins to happen with the simple realization that life, like an automobile, is driven from the inside out, not the other way around. As you focus more on becoming more peaceful with where you are, rather than focusing on where you would rather be, you begin to find peace right now in the present. Then, as you move around, try new things, and meet new people, you carry that sense of inner peace with you. It's absolutely true that wherever you go, there you are. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm going to move the bells over. I don't like to step up. I'm so happy to be here with my friends and family and spiritual family, and came over here from New Mexico. So that's exciting. Today, what came through for our service was on unity and acceptance. So, unity is such a huge topic that many, when they start to think of unity, may get overwhelmed with the thought of it and how to achieve it. And people have been working on this unity for a long time. So it's nothing new. It's something that comes up and it manifests it's called out for in different ways, and it comes to mind in different ways and in different periods of time, and how can we join together. And what we know is that the ultimate, if you feel confused about unity, the ultimate unity is to rejoin with the source or the Godhead. And we are challenged to do that in this life, and people have different ways of doing it. God comes to us in many different ways. God teaches us love and respect for our brothers and sisters. We just finished with Hanukkah, just ending, and Diwali with the season of lights. And now we're coming into Christmas and something that I've been learning more about, which is Kwanzaa. part of the purpose of Jesus the Christ and the coming of the Christ was to achieve unity, true unity. In Kwanzaa, they have, I believe it's 7 days, and one of the days is solely for unity. So how do we come together? And it's like the chant, the Om Mani Padme Hum, Diamond in the Lotus, individuality, bringing light and dark together. And we have different perceptions of light and dark and what that means to us as an individual. So how do we bring those elements together? God is manifesting as a diamond in the lotus. So what does that mean? How can, if we really meditate on this, the diamond is multifaceted and it's unfolding in a lotus. So it's simple and complex at the same time. I think the word is a dichotomy, or opposites, where there's opposites. So every time that you feel something coming against you, or feel that something's bad, or that you need to change someone else, it's like the reading too. If you see that everybody around you is selfish and greedy, then no matter where you go, you're going to see that. So how can we accept that? And how can we have that unification with an understanding and love for that thing that we don't like? So the way that we can have this, start to achieve this unity, is through acceptance, love, and then detachment. And also entering into this energy field of Christ consciousness. A lot of people ask me, well, what is the Christ? What is the Christ? And just as a diamond, the Christ can manifest in different ways for different people. But I believe that the Christ is that eternal unification field of energy that we can choose to reject or to join with. And even if we choose to join with it, then we can get into the flow of love and like determination, or I don't know if determination is the right word. Determination may not be the right word, but it has to do with knowing that that's what it is and not faltering and not being afraid to be that. So right now, as we go into this season of Christmas and the United States, you know, we're here, we're also all over, but people celebrate Christmas. And what I would ask the congregation is to, the presents and the food and all the fun things about Christmas are really wonderful, but to also, and I know we still have a few weeks to go before it's actually, but it's already here. So to experience this field of consciousness that we call here, you know, some people call it the Christ energy, or in Hinduism the Brahma, I believe it's the Brahma, or this great sea of consciousness and love, and to kind of ride the waves, or maybe there's no waves, maybe we can just float on the tranquil waters like the lotus and allow ourselves to unfold, prepare for the new year, and really accept. So the acceptance starts within. So we might start seeing things that are bad or wrong, or I don't like it when this person does this, or I think that that's evil or a sin, or we start having our own personal judgments about things that we experience. So at this time, perhaps we can start to see those things in a new light and see them as part of this consciousness field. See them as part of this love energy. And take ourselves to a whole nother level. Take ourselves to another level. Because I believe that's what's happening to the planet right now. And we have a choice to resist or to relax and to go with it. And this is really challenging because not only the personal struggle that we have within ourselves, how we judge ourselves, how you might say something and then go, oh, why did I say that? Or you might do something and then say, oh, why did I do that? And start beating yourself up and pushing yourself away. Just within. So within, if we can be aware of it, practice awareness, loving kindness to ourselves, and then start noticing, how do we reject others on the physical plane? And how do we deal with that? How do we deal with that? So, calling someone, the whole liberal versus conservative argument that's happening in the country right now, that's polarizing the country. If you might feel that you're in the middle, but then you might look at some militant fringe group and start judging them, even though you feel that you're pretty balanced. Or you might feel that you're a conservative and then start judging people that have the liberal agenda, or the conservative agenda. But the second that we start going into this outside world of people are like this, and the second that we start doing that, we can just automatically go within. See it as a trigger to just automatically go within and to reconnect with the Christ energy, with the source field. So unity, right now we're unity, and this is how we can unite. It doesn't mean that we have to agree and dote on the person that we don't like, or quote unquote don't like. We may not agree with a certain religion, and it doesn't mean, unification does not mean that you have to agree with them. That doesn't matter. A lot of people we can get stuck in emotional paralysis of our emotions, and we have to be able to move through that and out of that to be able to reunite with this greater love. So if you start feeling angry or upset or some kind of hatred or frustration or sadness, we also have a choice there to have this emotional paralysis that prevents us from reuniting with the source field, or we can move through the emotional paralysis, kind of get over it. And it doesn't mean that you don't still have feelings. So you still have feelings. The feelings are there for a purpose, to show you. But if you're truly united, getting stuck in the emotional realm does not help you move forward with your unification plan. Your personal unification plan. I just made that up. P-U-P. We all have our own plan, but we're all working together. So looking at what, from an objective, detached standpoint, how can we address our own issues without taking it out on others and without taking it out on ourselves? So we might be really good at acting outwardly that we are, happy or loving or we get along with everybody. But within, that's where we're dealing with these unification blocks that we can clear and that we can notice and we can start moving forward. So the only thing during this season, not the only thing, but what I'm bringing this Sunday is to just bring the awareness, bring the love, to relax, and to start to notice, how do you reject others? And if you start rejecting, to stop rejecting and to go completely within. Completely within. To just as a week, I don't know if I can give practices, but for a week, the second that you start to reject, pretend like that rejection thing is not there and only go within. And to notice when you get the emotional paralysis, when the emotions start to stop you from moving forward, where you're so stuck, so unhappy, or so locked up that you feel like you can't, or you might not even feel that you can't do anything. You might just be trapped in it, so you don't even know you're in a trap. So frustration, anger, the negative emotions, and to just notice them, accept it, learn from it, but you can do that in a split second. And not everybody's the same, and different emotions and they have different purposes. So to just go through it, keeps coming up, keep letting it go. Just keep letting it go so that we can have our burden be light and be reunited. Because all of this stuff is not going, we don't need anything. We don't need anything. All we need is love. That's a song. All we need is love. So paying attention to when it's not love, or when it's an emotional paralysis of a sense of love, like I think this is love, but actually it might be more of like something else that's disguising itself as love. So to start block, kind of almost sensory deprivation. In yoga they teach sensory deprivation. I don't know if that's quite the right word, but where you block out the senses. And it's a physical practice for a spiritual purpose. So you might be in the dark, or you might be without sound. But that's not the bigger point. The bigger point is, how can you block the emotional, not block it out, but how can you let go of the emotional stuff and go within? How can you become aware of it so you're not distracted by the bills, or how angry you are that people hunt lions, or something like that, like I'm mad, I'm angry that they do this, and constantly where are you putting your energy? Where are you really putting your energy? And what do we need to shift to be able to join into that unification field? And we all have stuff, or else we wouldn't be here. And So especially now, and you know, it can be really easy to get caught up in the festive cheer. I like it too, but my favorite thing about this season is how the energy calms down, the peace comes, the peace is born again, the peace comes and is born again. People have time off. A lot of people get time off to spend with their families, and or even at work, even if you still have to keep working, there's a different energy because people know it's the holidays and they start to kind of lighten up a bit. Or, you know, and then there's the dichotomy where some people get depressed because of loneliness or whatever, but they have the time to experience that feeling and to take care of it if they choose to do it, and to know that they're loved, and to know that no matter what, love is the greatest energy. So even if you're all alone or you're with people but you feel alone, you are never alone, because we are one with God. And it's really our choice to how we experience that. We can go into the fear, the doubt, the depression, and think that we're all alone. Right now, a lot of people will have those feelings. Or we can really understand love, and we can go out and give love. People can go out and give love if they feel like they have nothing at this time, because we can always do something. There's always something that can be done. And it's not always easy, but it's definitely possible. So as we go into this season, and one thing I've heard is happy holidays. Or if somebody tells you Merry Christmas, or if somebody tells you Happy Kwanzaa or Happy Hanukkah, there's a greater energy behind those words than just a sect of a religion. So to not look at just the words, but to look at the energy that is being shared by people all over the planet in the best way that we can. Everybody's doing the best they can. So as a congregation, if we could just pay attention to where we put our negative emotions and keep reuniting with love, 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 or the energy field. A lot of people like to work with this great energy field. So to move into that energy field, it's happening now, it's happening all over the world, and it's really exciting. So many blessings to all of us for the holiday seasons, and I know that we can continue to grow in this love and unification spirit.